else wants to talk next. And we'll keep our discussion with a fairly reasonable amount of time. Go ahead, sir.
You know, Pete, that isn't easy for me to do, but since you asked me nice, I will. Well, humor, I'm trying to lighten the load.
Within a reasonable amount of time.
I'll do that, sir.
Yeah.
I didn't wear my hearing protection, so if I can get a little closer, that'll be helpful. I think your budget's somewhere around $40 million. I don't have the papers in front of me, but by and large, it's around $40 million. So to say, and I trust you won't think me rude, I don't mean to be rude, Pete, to say, gee, we want to cut this off by 11 a.m. or we don't want to discuss it, we've done all that, I find that to be a little faulty. It is a $40 million budget, and I think all the discussion that anyone wants to give to it is warranted. I disagree, where all three of you seem to indicate that we need to take personnel out of the equation. I'm in disagreement with that. Are you gonna cut me off, would you?
The personnel that you currently have on the payroll today, you have to put enough money in the budget.
I understand.
To cover that cost, because you know what that number is. If you're going to reduce personnel, that's a process that you can exercise. That's going to benefit next year's budget.
I understand.
Okay, because you budget, Jan budgets it.
I didn't cut you off, Pete, but you're cutting me off.
Well, Jan budgets according to
I understand.
to what you currently have on the payroll.
Yes, I understand.
Go ahead and develop that thought further, which is, I think, where you were going to go.
I intend to do that.
Go ahead, yeah.
Thank you very much. Now, the status quo thinking is just what you advanced to me. And I say, break up that status quo thinking. When you set a budget, that should not end it for a whole 12-month period. I think what government does, county government does, in Clinton County, and certainly the school district does the same thing. It's the same old status quo thinking. It's, gee, it's all about revenues and it's all about taxes. And very little is done, if anything at all, to reduce costs. Very little, if anything. And I'm inclined to think, Pete, that, you know, elected officials don't want to take a look at reducing personnel costs because that's a lot of votes. You three depend upon county votes and school district votes and public union votes to get yourselves reelected. So yeah, you don't want to come down and look at personnel matters. Of course not, they're your votes. But I say you don't do that and you should do that, and there's vast opportunity to reduce your costs, but there's never any talk about reducing costs. It's always revenues, shifting revenues about, reduce costs. That's the status quo that every government entity in this county goes by. Revenues, 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 raise the taxes to our already overburdened senior citizens in particular, who are struggling to determine, well gosh, how am I gonna pay these burdens and ever-increasing property taxes? How am I going to do that? How am I going to pay for my medicines and my prescriptions? How am I going to do that? My fuel costs. And they're all struggling out there, Pete. Folks are leaving the county, our youth leaving the county to find their work. 1 out of 2 of the working citizens in this county travel outside the county to find their work. And again, it's the status quo, raise the taxes. I say reduce the cost. And the way to do that is through personnel, but you won't examine that. I can give you specific examples of that. Here's one. Pete, right? You lost a state contract. We don't know why that is. We can jump to conclusions. You can tell us why you've lost a state contract for state inmates.
But we didn't lose the state. You talking about we didn't lose that.
The state inmates are not coming here, right?
We didn't. They voluntarily ended our contract, and they ended that contract to every county in the state that housed county inmates.
Understand?
Okay.
I'm not blaming you for anything.
When you say lost it, it implies we did something erroneous.
No, I'm not implying that, sir. I understand that. The day we
It
showed
was taken
that.
away or whatever.
Right.
Okay.
Taken
You've said
away.
that about 6 times, so let's say it one more time. The state canceled, made a business decision.
Correct.
The State Department of Corrections made a business decision because they felt that they did not want to rent any more space in any county prisons because they were doing whatever they were doing, shifting those prisoners to other facilities.
We're in
There's
agreement.
a ton of politics behind that at the state level, and has nothing to do with Clinton County.
But it does.
For example, they were closing 2 facilities, and so it was behooved them, and there's probably negotiations with their union, ASHME, at the same time. You can't close prisons while you're paying other people to house prisons. So that's all the stuff you read in the headline newspaper and all that. So they chose to cancel all contracts with county facilities.
Yes, sir.
So that's what happened.
I understand that.
Continue, though, continue.
And thank you kindly for clarification. We're in complete agreement with that. Now, having said that, you say it does not impact Clinton County.
Oh, no, it did impact us.
Yes,
It
it did.
did impact
In a
us.
big way, didn't it?
I meant that the state's decision.
It wasn't through no
was a
fault
state
of your own.
decision.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that was a state decision.
I got that.
Okay,
I
not a
think we
Clinton
all-
County decision.
that was a-
Yeah.
That was a state decision.
Mike, no annex. Please get to your points. I'm not interested in your annex. That was unnecessary. Make your points. and
You've
make
given
your-
me your annex. You don't get to tell me what to say, Pete.
Make your point, sir.
I'm trying to do that without interruption. You keep interrupting to make your own. We're in agreement. How many times do I have to say the same thing? Now, it does impact you. You've lost these state prisoners. You put whatever verbiage you want to it. They are no longer there. And you've lost that revenue. Have you reduced personnel at the county consistent with that loss
Oh, yes.
in population?
Was there, how many corrections officers are going to be reduced as part of that plan? 6. Was it 6? It was 2 supervisors and 4.
6. Is that the
Yeah,
best we
and
can
there
do
was
there?
one cell block was closed, yeah.
Is that the best we can do there?
At the moment, yeah, at the time,
Have we
because you
examined
still
Joe?
have to keep a certain number ratio of COs to the number of inmates, detainees. There's a certain ratio you have to maintain. So the business model that we embrace, Mike, is to continue to try to keep as many beds occupied as possible, receive that per diem revenue. However, because of this change that you and I just debated a moment ago, we were able to close one cell block and then reduce the 2020 budget through attrition by 6 people. Then Angela provided us with a revised business plan that brought her deficit down some from that point.
You know, Pete, this isn't personal to me, and I know it isn't to you. We can have a fair discussion here without all the antics, as you said. Now, you say through attrition, and I hear through attrition a lot. What that means to me, Pete, is this. Because back to my earlier point, elected officials are not inclined to reduce staff. Instead, they wait till staff determines to retire, or maybe they resign, maybe they do other things, and then they take the opportunity to reduce staff. So you say through attrition, that tells me that there is staff available to cut, but you're reluctant to cut them. When you say we can do it through attrition, that means, well, we can do it next year or 3 years from now when folks reach retirement age or they do this or that. I'm thinking there's opportunity there, probably lots of it, and no one's examined it. I think you should go back and examine it.
Yeah.
I don't think this should end it, Pete. I think we can reduce costs and examine these things at any time, but you won't do it. Paul's correct. Thank you for your time.
Oh, well, okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. The attrition piece is the fact that we have enough turnover there that when people leave and we know we want to reduce the number of people, we don't have to actually furlough. We don't have to hand someone a furlough.
But if you don't need them now, why wait? Get rid of them now. I know, that may sound harsh, it may sound cruel, but these are taxpayer dollars, Pete.
Yeah.
Our senior citizens, everybody's overburdened, and you say, well, gee, we'll do it when it's more convenient for the employee. But what about the
It's just that the timing works out, Mike.
Well,
And
sure
I
it
have to tell
does.
you that as the number of inmates drop, if you have Angela gave us a plan. You'd have to read her plan. It's too hard to explain to you now, but I appreciate your comments.
I appreciate
Hey,
it.
thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Did you have anything, Jeff, any responses or anything on that? I'm sorry that we have so much trouble agreeing to disagree. And maybe we don't agree to disagree, maybe we do agree to disagree. I've been accused of over-explaining things all my career as a county commissioner.
The emotions are okay, it shows that you care.
Well, no, I'm just
Okay,
saying,
I'm all right.
we tried desperately to provide the facts that relate to the topics of the debate and the discussion.
You and I are okay.
It seems sometimes futile though, however, because we try, and still, I don't know, so. Anybody else have any comments on the budget?